This video will show you some of the craziest encounters with serial killers. Click off the video if you're squeamish. This is real footage. This man loses control and lashes out in court. In this first clip, a father to a murdered son attacked the accused offender in the courtroom, causing absolute chaos. He punches the accused Deshaun Brown multiple times, causing police to take him down. Antonio Hughes, who is pictured here, was the victim's partner. He was sentenced to 7 days in jail for the outburst. Hughes was the father of 3-year-old Nilo Lattimore, who is pictured here with his mother, who was fatally stabbed to death. The bodies were then dumped in an Ohio river. Deshaun Brown, who is only young, was the perpetrator of these heinous crimes and appears to be still in college at the time of the killings. The 27-year-old Deshaun Brown was sentenced to 30 in prison. Nitisha Lattimore was stabbed and found dead, while Nilo still to this day has never been found. Jeffrey Dahmer was one of America's most notorious serial killers. In this clip, one of the victim's sisters lashes out at him in a courtroom trial. The sister of the murdered man justifiably said this:
"When you are out of control, I don't want to ever see my mother have to go through this again. Never, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I hate you, motherfucker. I hate you. This is out of control. Don't fuck with me, Jeffrey. I kill you. God damn it. Look at me, motherfucker. I can kill you.
The man was once again only young at the time of his death, and his sister still to this day has to live with the pain.
I've lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren. I've lost the enjoyment of holidays and birthdays and of everyday life.
Donta Wright was accused of gunning down a well-loved student in 2017. The teen was loved by many. His name was Jordan Klee, a very talented sportsman who had much love for his friends and family. The judge in this trial was furious when Donta showed zero remorse.
Wright addressed the court showing no remorse.
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon, I love my family. Yes.
The judge, clearly fed up with the defendant's attitude, stopped the proceedings and asked prosecution to consider taking this case to trial, where Wright would face a stiffer punishment if found guilty by a jury.
Watching you sit there, smile, and laugh, and shake your head like this was no big deal, I'm very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there.
Donta is so sick he didn't even apologize and had his lawyer do it for him.
The defense attorney apologizing on behalf of the 17-year-old.
His smiling was in no way meant as disrespectful either to the family, to the victim, or to this court.
Donta Wright was sentenced to 23 to 50 years for armed robbery, felony firearm, and second-degree murder of 18-year-old Jordan Klee.
Aiden Fucci was just 14 years old when he stabbed to death a cheerleader that went to his own school. His friends say he always would talk about wanting to slit people's necks, and that he would enjoy the feeling. The victim was also 14 years old. The cheerleader's name was Tristan Bailey, an innocent girl who was loved by many.
I stood in the exact same spot with Tristan as she competed at the summit.
Aiden was seen on CCTV returning home around the time of her death. Self-defense marks were found on the accused Aiden, as well as one of his knives his friends identified at the crime scene.
Aiden kept knives for protection. He always had a knife on him if he wasn't at school. He would keep his AirPods. He listened to music to try and calm him down. He said that helped him with his anger.
Despite attempts to apologize, the court sentenced the 14-year-old to life in prison.
Mr. Fucci, having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I adjudicate you guilty of the premeditated first-degree murder of Tristan Bailey. I sentence you to life in prison.
In Ohio between 2012 and 2013, Michael Madison went on a killing rampage. He selfishly took the lives of 3 innocent women, raping, murdering, and wrapping their bodies in garbage bags. The victims were Angela Deskins, Shete Sheely, and Sherelda Terry. Before receiving the Ohio State's death penalty, one of the victims' father lashed out when confronted face to face with his daughter's killer. Causing the perpetrator to smile with disrespect. Richard Ramirez, between 1984 and 1985, killed and murdered over 15 innocent lives. His killing rampage would span just over a year, where he would kill, rape, and rob his victims. The variety of his victims was vast, spanning from 9-year-old Mei Leung to an elderly couple, Vincent and Maxine Zazera. In a creepy encounter with Inside Edition, his cellmate said this:
Richard Ramirez's whole trip was to hide in a tree or hide behind a fence and watch his victims at nighttime and wait into the wee hours of the night. And then while they slept, creep in, like a coward and kill them.
Ramirez then had this to say:
a serial killer comes about by circumstances and like a recipe, poverty, drugs, child abuse. These things, contribute to a person's frustration and anger, and at some point in life, he explodes.
Maybe for Ramirez, but thankfully not everyone is this guy. You've made it this far and you haven't even subscribed. Subscribe for more videos.